T7M Radio brings to you the best of 7 sports talk with 7 Mitchell.
Power to the people, man. Welcome back. You are now rocking with the best here at the best of 7 sports talk. T7M Radio is the kid 7 Mitchell, your host as always. You already know how we give it up. You already know I definitely appreciate y'all locking in. Callers, man, it's that time to embrace debate. Talk our shit when it comes to these things that we love called sports. 347-989-8102 is the number to dial in. Subscribe right now if you have not done so already to the T7M Radio YouTube channel. We definitely appreciate that. I want to see the comments. I want to see the debates popping. We all on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere on social media, man. Make sure y'all stay in the loop of everything we got going. T7M Radio. Once again, thank you so much for the support. We are locked and loaded, man. We got a big full plate tonight. Got my co-host calling up in a split second. We got some NBA action to talk about. The New York Knicks, Carmelo Anthony fiasco. Phil Jackson taking more shots at my guy Melo. We got to talk about this in this trade that kind of is still up in the air between the Knicks and Cleveland when it comes to Kevin Love and Carmelo Anthony. We're going to talk about that. We also going to chop it up about the MVP of the NBA. We almost halfway done to the NBA season. I want to talk to the co-hosts, lock in with them, figure out who they feel like the current NBA MVP is at the time. We also going to be talking top 3 point guards in the NBA. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to be locked into the NFL. You know, we just finishing a dope season. Again, congratulations to the New England Patriots, winners of Super Bowl 51. We're going to get some early predictions from the fellas when it comes to Super Bowl 52 and other things that's predicted to go down in the NFL season coming next year. We also got to talk, of course, TVE, the best ever, Floyd Money Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Possibly. We got to get the street start. So y'all go ahead and buckle up, man. Let's get ready to go down. This is the best of 7 sports talk. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. Joining me is one of my co-hosts out in Philly. We got the homie Raj in the building. Raj, what's popping?
What's poppin' with you, Seven?
Oh, man, it's all good. Doing my thing. What's happening?
You know, you touched on a lot of great topics, but what I want to touch on real quick, you know, let's first of all, what do you think about the whole idea of us, me being an Eagles fan, of us giving Wentz, you know, control over on who he wants?
First of all, I think Philly did the right choice in quarterbacks out of the options that they had. I know Goff had went first, but I think overall Wentz is a better quarterback. So I think the Eagles made out with their pick. As far as putting the team in the driver's seat or putting him in the driver's seat, I mean, you guys right now don't have much to lose offensively, so I'm not mad at that. Why not?
Right. Now, just on the Bleacher Report, that's where I get a lot of my information from. You know what I mean? And 2, they're, number 1, what they're talking about right now is the Jason Kelsey staying, which, me personally, I agree with him. You know what I mean? Wentz wants Kelsey to stay. Okay? He knows that line from last season, so I'm agree with that. But I don't know. Man, me personally, you know, I like Wentz. You know what I mean? I like Wentz, but I don't know if it's a great idea. I'm good with it, but it's just something iffy.
I like Philly's defense. I'm not mad if you're going to put Carson Wentz in the driver's seat. We talked about this yesterday that your team offensively needs some type of firepower at the wideout position because the NFC East to me is really no joke. The Redskins, the Cowboys, the Giants, they all are definitely competitive in that division. So you guys got to come with something special next year. And defense, I think y'all solid. Running game is kind of iffy, but y'all got some speedy weapons back there. Carson Wentz, give him time to grow. But like you said yesterday, y'all definitely need that deep threat at wideout.
And we go get him. We are going to go get him, which I believe, you know, is Kenny Stills from the Dolphins.
Oh. So would you rather have Stills or Deshaun Jackson? Because I know I brought the DJ up yesterday. You still pretty much
Me
rather
personally,
Stills?
yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. You look at Stills, what he did last season about it. Okay, you look at DJ, but to me, Stills is younger and got a lot more left in the tank. With opposed to DJ.
I understand. I can respect that. Now, you brought up Torrey Smith yesterday. You had an interest in Torrey Smith from the 49ers. Who do you prefer in that equation between Stills and Torrey Smith?
Well, here's what we do. We go get both of them, and I'm gonna tell you how we go get both of them. Okay, Torrey Smith, believe it or not, is a veteran in the league. Okay. We can sign him to the veteran minimum, which would be a 1-year deal. And you know what I mean? And that's how we work with that. We have we give him a 1-year deal.
Carson going to need more than that. He going to need more time than that with Torrey, I think.
Right, but see, that's why I said we go get Stills also.
But what's the point of wasting money on Torrey Smith if you can't help, develop Carson Wentz? I think if you're going to bring on Torrey Smith, you need to bring him on at least for 2 seasons.
Right, but then, okay, and I agree with you, but then here's another thing, which you said, and I totally agree with you, is why not, if we possibly can, go get D-Jack and Stills.
Now, that'll be box office. I think if you guys were to do that, that immediately off the break would make Philadelphia one of the favorites in the NFC East, especially not knowing where Tony Romo will be going. I want to go ahead and talk about that in a second. Let me go ahead and take a call real quick because it looked like we got the shooter in the building. New York is definitely repping. Shooter, what's popping?
What it is, y'all. Just another day in office.
You already know, man. Salute to you. Yo, we're talking NFL. We just finished off the year. Tom Brady and company winning Super Bowl 51. We kind of predicting how next year is going to turn out. Now, Raj is an Eagles fan. I know you New York all day. What's your thoughts on the NFC East and on how that might play out next year?
The same way it played out this year.
Wow. You got the Cowboys having the type of year they had?
Cowboys again, and then the Giants are going to go in the wild card.
Wow. So let me ask you a $1 million question, Shooter. Go ahead, Raj.
Can I? Okay, Shooter. I take it you're a Giants fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happens with receiving corps, all right? If we go get, me being the Eagles, if we go get Kenny Stills and Deshaun Jackson, okay? Would you safely say we have a better receiving corps than y'all?
No.
Huh?
The reason why I say no is Shepard is developing into a threat, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All you got to do is replace Victor Cruz with a very decent slot receiver, and bam, Eli Manning's going to have the same type of year because ain't nobody stopping Odell Beckham. He's only going to get worse.
Odell Beckham is overrated. I mean, when are we going to get to the realization that this guy's more talk than actually action? I mean, he made a great catch a couple years ago. We still living off of that moment.
No, he's proven time.
He's proven what?
He's proven time and time again he can come up with these big games. And then the crazy thing is, you got to look at it like this. He's overrated, right? But everybody knows that's Eli Manning's favorite target, but yet time and time again he's coming up with 150-yard games, 100, 150, 160, 100-yard games. And everybody knows Eli Manning is going to go in the game and target him. Eli Manning is going to go in the game and repeatedly target him. How can he keep coming up with these 100-yard games if people know the game plan and still not stopping him?
So you don't really have no respect for the Redskins or the Eagles make it into the postseason last year?
No, I don't have no respect for Kirk Cousins. He's trash.
Talk that shit. So I got to ask you a $1 million question. Hold up. Let me ask you $1 million question, and I'll start with you, Raj. Where do you see Tony Romo playing next year? What uniform do you see Tony Romo wearing in 2017?
Dallas.
Wow.
I see it.
As a starter?
No, as a backup, and I'm going to tell you why. If that quarterback goes out, they need every team needs a backup that can come in, that knows the playbook and everything. So there you go.
Shooter, you going for that? You think Romo going to sit back in a passenger seat again for Dak Prescott?
No. I think he's going to end up. He's going to either be a Jet or a Bronco.
Yeah, I'm feeling you. I actually had that on paper. I can definitely see Tony Romo being in New York with the Jets. I think that'll be a pretty good fit. If he's going to be in Dallas, he has to be a starter. They're just going to have to look at Dak Prescott's postseason performance, which wasn't that bad. But for the simple fact that they had the great year that they had and they got bumped in their first game in the postseason, if you're going to bench Dak because of that, fine. But you can't keep Tony Romo and leave him on the bench. I don't think that's going to help anybody.
A team that people really need to pay attention to and to see what they're going to do is Arizona.
The Cardinals, you think they're going to make a move because Larry Fitzgerald just resigned?
Well, now that he's back, that's one question that's answered, but what are they going to do with Carson Palmer?
You got an early Super Bowl 52 prediction for next year, Shooter?
If I would say,
I'm going with the Ravens and the Packers.
This is going to surprise people. I think it's going to be Dallas and Pittsburgh.
Got the Steelers. Wow. It's a lot of history. It's a lot of championships between those two franchises. What about you, Raj? Give me an early prediction for the Super Bowl next year.
New England.
God. It's so disrespectful. Jeez.
Oh man, I don't know who from the NFC. I can't. You know what I mean? I just know New England. Tom's gonna get his sixth ring.
But damn. So you think? Oh, he gonna match Michael Jordan? I hear that.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. Tom Brady either gets injured or retires.
Whoa. Wow.
Wow. Tom Brady gonna retire or get injured.
I'm definitely going to save the game tape. We're going to have to revisit that prediction. When we come back here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, we got some NBA action to talk. I know my guy Shooter definitely want to talk about our New York Knicks. We definitely got to chop it up. We also got to talk about the MVP of the NBA at this point and top 3 point guards in the NBA. Y'all go ahead, take a quick timeout, 30 seconds. We'll be right back here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. T7M Radio, this is the Best of 7 Sports Talk. 7 Mitchell callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. We chopping it up talking about the NBA, National Basketball Association. We got a couple things to get into. First of all, today, Sacramento Kings superstar DeMarcus Cousins has been suspended for 1 game without pay, picking up his 16th technical of the year. The NBA had announced earlier today. The Kings play the Boston Celtics tomorrow night without DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins has also been fined 25 stacks for making an inappropriate statement and gesture after leaving the floor after the Kings win over Golden State Warriors on Saturday. DeMarcus Cousins, man, seemed to be a little bit out of control, fellas. What's your thoughts on DeMarcus Cousins? Is he somebody, even though he seems to be a superstar on the court, is he somebody that seems to be a problem and maybe the Kings need to consider trading?
To be honest with you, you just spoke that up, Seven. What you need, he needs. I'm gonna be honest. He needs the right coach, the right organization that can, I guess you want to say, snap him out of this. Because the route he's going, yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this, he needs to go to New York, all right? Because Phil will tighten his ass out.
You think so?
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes. And here's the thing. I'm gonna look at it like this, okay? Y'all keep Melo and Cousins right there together. To me, I'm a Lakers fan. That could be trouble.
I never really thought about that. I can't really see that happening because Sacramento's gonna have to get somebody from New York. And it seems like Carmelo is the only piece that they're really trying to get rid of that actually has some type of trade value. Speaking of my New York Knicks, we've been hearing talks about Carmelo being traded to a lot of different teams in the last week or so. One of the teams being the Cleveland Cavaliers. For Kevin Love.
Well, all right, let me speak on that.
Wait a minute, let me finish.
Okay.
Because Kevin Love, in my opinion, he's an all-star champion, and he's been playing very, very well. But his name keeps coming up in this trade rumor with Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. I want to know from y'all fellas, who should feel more disrespected in these trade talks, Carmelo Anthony or Kevin Love coming off of being, a champion, an all-star? Who should feel more disrespected having their name being brought up in this trade?
So, me personally is Melo. Because, yeah, Kevin Love is an all-star and everything, but to me, it's just me. Melo, to me, is 20 times better than Kevin Love.
What about you, Shooter? You feel like who should feel, I guess, more disrespected with these trade talks, Melo or Kevin Love?
Kevin Love. And I'm gonna tell you why Kevin Love, right? I mean this in all due respect. Kevin Love is a bitch, but he's an underappreciated bitch. Like, he can win games for you. He can do his job, but Kevin Love would be more appreciated on a team like Portland. He should have never went to Cleveland in the first place because of somebody like LeBron. Right. He's underappreciated. So if I was Kevin Love, I would force my way out of Cleveland. I got my ring. My legacy is cemented as a champion. I don't care to be here anymore. Bye.
Kevin Love is on his way out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like people saying that Melo needs to feel disrespected. Alright, I'm 25. I've been a Knicks fan since probably 14, 13, when I really started to get a whole bit of game of basketball. Melo has done nothing that other people have came to the Knicks have done. Melo has not done anything more than what Marbury did when Marbury came to New York. So why is Melo should be so appreciated? Melo can get the hell out of here tomorrow.
My thing about it is with Kevin Love, I mean, it's one thing for Melo to not be winning by front management, Phil Jackson and company, but clearly we've seen even to last year, maybe even a little bit the year before, Kevin Love is not really wanted 100% by his own teammates in the locker room alone. So it's one thing for the front office not to, but your team, always gathers around you and rallies around you.
I kind of feel like Kevin Love is not wanted by LeBron James. It's not like he's not wanted by Cleveland. He's not wanted by LeBron.
Well, that's enough. That's enough. If LeBron James not going to support you, in that locker room at the end of the day, no one else is really going to go against the king. So that's the guy that you definitely need to be on your side. Because remember, that's the guy that really brought you to Cleveland. You came because of LeBron.
But let's really talk about it. I don't even think nobody on Cleveland wants LeBron. Like, let's be real. I'm gonna tell you something. LeBron James can be.
You on drugs?
No.
Do not do this.
LeBron
do not
James
do this tonight.
Handicaps Kyrie Irving's game. Kyrie Irving has to sacrifice himself too much for LeBron James. And if you don't think it's animosity between the two of them, you're crazy.
I understand that, and you're absolutely right. But Shooter, you're deep. You're very deep in knowledge in the sports. Sometimes you have to put those things to the side, for the bigger picture. The bigger picture is championships, and Kyrie Irving would have never sniffed the NBA Finals if it wasn't for LeBron. And LeBron took him to back-to-back appearances and got him a ring. I mean,
if Kyrie Irving was to get Kevin Love, right? They would have, and LeBron would have stayed with Miami. They would have challenged Miami in the East Conference Finals.
No way, you are on drugs. Whoa, no way. Are you kidding me? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yo, think about it. Think about it this way, right? Before LeBron came to Cleveland, I think it was the year before or 2 years before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Cleveland was close to getting in the playoffs and getting the 8th seed with just Kyrie Irving. So if you look at it like this, right? If Cleveland would have had Andrew Wiggins, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, you don't think they could have challenged?
Not at all. No one is challenging LeBron in the East. That's
period.
What Boston
is doing.
What is Boston doing? I mean, Boston is looking good, but Boston is not even leading the Atlantic. Toronto is still a real deal in the Atlantic. So, talk to me postseason when you want to bring up these teams. These teams ain't nobody's doing nothing with LeBron in the East in 7 games.
Hold on. Nah. See, that's where you're wrong at 7. Now, you know, shooter, you might look at me crazy too, or thinking, you know, I'm on drugs or something when I say this. But I'm gonna tell y'all now. Watch what's called. Watch Washington. The way John Wall was balled, man. In a 7-game series,
they can't win. They don't know how to win. You see last night? You see what happened? They don't know how to win. Those games like that, you gotta find a way to pull those games out. I think they were like on an 8-game or they had a crazy home game winning streak going on. You know what I mean? They had that game almost sold. You gotta find a way to beat Cleveland. You can't allow that to happen. You still got a lot of work to do. You allow LeBron to do that at the end, bank it off the, from the side at the end. No. You got a lot of work to do.
Let's be real. LeBron James, like he's the greatest player right now in the NBA, but he's kind of a cancer. Because let's think about it, right? He's a cancer. Like,
Dave, I love you. Drive carefully.
What? Like, look at it. He's complaining, Cleveland, y'all need to go out and get a playmaker. Y'all need to go out and get a playmaker. How much more do you need? You are the most. Like, you bitch the most out of any superstar that I have ever seen in the world. Kobe won a championship with, or I think Smush Parker on the team. Like,
where were you, Summer Shooter, when Kevin Durant signed with Golden State? Because you guys act like this thing with Kevin Durant and Golden State never happened. LeBron James in Cleveland last year was down 3-1 to Golden State without Kevin Durant. They came back, won 4-3. Off-season, Golden State picks up Kevin Durant. How in the world do you expect Cleveland to match up again and repeat if they don't make any type of upgrade? I mean, that's just common sense. And the fact
at the end of the day, wait. At the end of the day, right? You know what my satisfaction about Kevin Durant doing that bitch move is? Watching Russell Westbrook tear the league down, right? I'm going to say that. And then Cleveland needed to make an upgrade, right? When Boston formed that big 3, right? Kobe didn't do nothing. Kobe stood up to the thing. He had Andrew Bynum and Paul Gasol? Paul Gasol was unpolished at that time. But Kobe went and challenged them. LeBron, I need playmakers. I need more people. I need this. You're the greatest player in the game. Shut up and play the game. If you can't beat them, what are you going to do? Keep complaining and add every superstar you need to add? No. Polish your game and go at them. Stop complaining. What you want? A 15-man roster of all superstars? Like, get out of here. Kevin Durant is gay.
If I'm not mistaken, the Lakers and Kobe went to the finals against the Big 3 in 08 when Kevin Garnett and company won their championship. That was against LA. Kobe had Phil Jackson doing his whole stretch of every championship run. I mean, how are you going to get mad at LeBron James for publicly voicing and knowing what it's going to take for his team to get to where they need to be? I mean, I don't see the problem with this. J.R. Smith has not been playing well. Amon Shepard is hurt. Kyrie is the man, but he's been hurt. They need more. And LeBron is the perfect person to say it.
He is the most. He cries the most out of any superstar that I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Rasheed, look at this. I'm gonna tell you why. Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and Ben Wallace won a championship against Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Shaq, Kobe, and Rick Fox. Did you hear Detroit complaining about we need superstars? No. Detroit went there and won the finals against a loaded team.
Detroit is not building a legacy, though. The Pistons was not building a legacy at that time. LeBron James just brought a championship back to Cleveland, and they trying to repeat. I mean, this is something completely different.
You know what, Seven? There you go. You might call me disrespectful and everything, but I got to agree with the shooter. You know what I mean?
Oh, you are very disrespectful.
Listen, man. LeBron, to me, don't get it. He's nice. You know, his skills speak for himself, but he's a crybaby. Because who's to say, okay, if he does get Carmelo, and if he does get, let's just say, for example, even though he's not going there, Wade, okay? That's 3 people right there he should win a ring with. If he don't win a ring, he's going to cry then. I don't. They're not sharing the ball or whatever.
Well, speaking of crybabies, you brought up Russell Westbrook, shooter.
Who?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all fellas this. Right now, we almost at the halfway point of the NBA season. All-Star break coming up. Who are your MVP so far in the NBA?
Me personally? Exactly. Thank you, shooter. Westbrook. Westbrook.
How? What? What? I swear to God, I have to drug test anybody to come on this podcast. What in the world would make y'all say that Russell Westbrook is the MVP this season so far?
Why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. MVP is about the most valuable player of the year. This man averages a triple-double. It's not about wins. It's not about losses. It's about your individual year by the numbers. Yo, I don't care if Russell Westbrook was averaging a triple-double and the Thunder was last in the West. He still deserves that MVP because it's about individual stats of the year. People feel like the MVP should go to somebody who had a good statistical year and a team won 60 games. No, it's about the best individual year for a player. Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double. He's only the second player in NBA history to do that and might do it for a full year. Why should he not get MVP?
Shooter, you should be banned from talking basketball, talking about that the MVP shouldn't tell individual stats. I mean, that makes no sense to me at all.
No, it should tell individual stats. It should. But what my means is, if
most valuable to your team, most valuable to the success of your franchise. Right now, Oklahoma City is 30-23. I will give them props for playing over 500 basketball without Kevin Durant. I will give them props for that. I'm not saying Westbrook haven't an amazing year. He's coming off of the same type of energy he had last year. But they not even leading their division. They still behind Utah, 3 games behind the Utah Jazz in the Northwest. So what is so valuable about this man, and he's not even leading his division?
I'm gonna tell you right now. If he goes down for the whole calendar year and averages triple-double, he is the second man in NBA history to do that. More valuable than you can say anything. But
if the team, what value is that if the team has no success? If the team, I mean, it sounds like we're talking about scoring titles and stuff like that. But most valuable MVP, like if you were not in existence, this team would have no shot at nothing. Even with Westbrook, they still have no shot. LeBron James, to me, is the most valuable player. I don't know why this is even up for debate. I'm just being honest. Without LeBron, Cleveland would not be first seed. That is just point blank period. If you take Kevin Durant, if you take Steph Curry, if you take Klay Thompson, one of those 3, or Draymond Green, one of those 4, from Golden State, they still got a shot. Value to the franchise got to be LeBron.
So you mean to tell me, right? If Cleveland had that exact same team, everybody, like, are we talking about everybody healthy or just team, period?
Everybody healthy. If you take LeBron James out of that equation, keep Kyrie, Kevin Love, J.R., Shumpert, all of that. You can keep those pieces, even though they would not even be there if it wasn't for LeBron James. Let's keep that in mind as well. That's what I'm talking about as far as value as well. Half of that roster wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for LeBron James. These guys took pay cuts just to play this guy.
Now think about this, right? Without LeBron, that same exact team will be fighting for number 1 in the East. You know why? You know why I tell you? Look at Boston. Why? Boston is fighting for number 1 in the East. Give me 6 people on Boston's team.
Doing drugs. No one is fighting for number 1 in the East. Cleveland has that on lock, shooter. Boston is not even number 1 in their division. Toronto is leading them. The Boston better just worry about not letting the Knicks catch up to them. That's it. That's it. Boston is not. I'm not sold. What Boston doesn't even have a front court presence.
But you said if Cleveland had without LeBron, they can fight for that number one spot in the East. Yes, they can. With that exact roster without LeBron James, yeah, they can. They still could get number one in the East.
If you keep LeBron James in Miami, D Wade is not going nowhere. Miami is still going to be number one. Wherever LeBron going, you're going to be number one. I mean, I don't know why we're having this debate. Raj, you're just playing the background.
That's not the debate we having. You said if you take LeBron off of Cleveland, can Cleveland fight for the number one spot in the East? I said, yes, they can. With that team, without LeBron James, they can fight.
I just can't. I just don't see that. I don't see that. Especially with D Rose leaving for New York, I just don't see that. I don't.
Like, without LeBron James on that team in Boston is kind of identical if you think about it.
Let me ask you this, and I'll start with you, Raj. Right now, starting from 3, 2 to 1, who's your top 3 point guards in the NBA? Because y'all got so much praise for this Russell Westbrook.
Well, it's funny you say that. Well, he's my number one. All right. My number 2 is Chris Paul. And
wow. Okay, I like that.
See, there's just too many out there for me to name number 3.
I mean, you got Steph Curry, you got Kyrie Irving.
Oh, you know what? Now, listen, I'm gonna go with Kyrie.
So you don't have Steph in your top 3 point guards in the NBA?
No.
Wow. What about you, Shooter?
Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, and Kyrie Irving.
So you have Kyrie Irving as a better point guard than Russell Westbrook. Damian Lillard? Really?
Yep.
Unbelievable. I swear to God, man, I got to talk to the bosses, man. This is unbelievable. What puts Damian Lillard over CP3 and Steph Curry?
The only reason why I put Damian Lillard over CP3 is because his body is breaking down. Like, he's not the CP3 that I remember going through high school and all that. And Steph Curry, I'm sorry to say this, Steph Curry is a system point guard. He's only as good as the system that Mark Jackson placed on that team. I'm not even going to say Steve Kerr, because Steve Kerr is basically living off Mark Jackson's success.
Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself when it comes to Golden State.
So that's why I put Damian Lillard as number 3. If CP3 body wasn't breaking down, CP3 actually would probably be number 2 or 3. But I'm sorry, I got to give Russell Westbrook praise for what he's doing, because he's doing something that we have never seen before in the NBA. If he goes down as averaging that triple-double all year, he is only the 2nd player in NBA history to do it. He has to get props for that.
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio with 7 Mitchell. Before we roll out in the show, we got to take it to the boxing lane real quick. I just want to get y'all brief thoughts. Floyd Money Mayweather, Conor McGregor. I'm not sure if this thing is going to happen. I really do not want to see this happen, because I don't know what it's going to do for Floyd's resume, if it's going to count towards his resume. I don't think it should count towards the 50. And if he loses, I don't think it should be 49-1. I think this is a joke. Conor McGregor, he applied for a license in California to box, even though Floyd boxes in Las Vegas. It just seemed like a lot of hype, a lot of BS. But at times, these guys make it seem like it's really going to happen. Shooter, what's your thoughts on Floyd and Conor? Do you think this is going to happen? And if so, who do you got winning a boxing match?
One, I'll say before I even start, if Floyd Mayweather was to fight him and he was to lose, I don't think it should count on his record. If he was to fight him and win, I don't think it should count on his record. I just think this should be like a
exhibition,
a style clash type of boxing match. And number 2, do I think it's going to happen? Sure, it's gonna happen. I know Floyd. Floyd is about that money, and if it's gonna make him some money, he's gonna do it. And what was the third? What was the third part of it?
It's just, if it's gonna happen, who do you feel would win in a boxing match?
Oh, Floyd gonna win, because it's in a boxing match. Now, if this fight happens like I don't know if I'm using the right word for it, like an unsanctioned type of fight, like where it's MMA rules and boxing, no, Floyd gonna get that ass whooped. But if it's just boxing rules, Conor McGregor going to die.
What about you, Raj? I mean, I can't really debate or dispute what Shooter was saying. Either way, I don't feel like it should count on Floyd's record. I don't think Conor could walk in Floyd's shoes when it comes to boxing. But, you know, Shooter think this really will happen because, you know, if the money is there, Floyd going to take it. I don't know. What about you, Raj?
Man, well, I'm going with Money Mayweather. You know what I mean? Money Mayweather going to do his thing. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if he knocked out the bull. To be honest, don't call me crazy. I don't see nobody, really too many people beating Mayweather. You know, at least not him out. I see him. I see him knocking the bull out. I'm going with Money Mayweather.
Now you brought up Triple G, Shooter. You think Triple G got what it takes to beat Floyd Mayweather?
I think so. I think, or I don't know if they can fight. It's either Triple G or that guy Dante Whitner. Or I think I'm saying his name right.
Or
it's
what
either
about
Triple G or him.
What about Andre Ward?
I'm not too familiar with him, so I can't give you an opinion on him. I have to look it up.
New welterweight champion. Well, I mean, you know, y'all guys made some good points. You know, Floyd will school this boy in a boxing ring. There's no denying that. I think it will be big money. And, you know, Shooter, we've seen the history with Floyd. I think you're right. I think Floyd will definitely chase that bag if it's a 9-figure deal. Man, that's crazy. Side B. You know, this is the Best of 7 Sports Talk. We're about to wrap it up, man. Appreciate everybody locking in. Subscribe right now to the T7M Radio YouTube channel. Follow us everywhere on social media at T7M Radio. We are locked and loaded 5 days a week now at 6 p.m. Eastern, 347-989-8102. So we definitely look forward to chopping it up with y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Doing what we do when it came to sports. Salute to Raj, the Shooter. Y'all be good. Holla at y'all tomorrow.
Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell on T7M Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 347-989-8102, and follow us on social media, T7M Radio on YouTube.